37 and 38. We are simplifying the difference. This is kind of like adding. You need to have a common denominator, but before I do anything, we're going to factor anything that we can. So if I look at this top thing, we have n squared minus 10 plus 24. I'm going to use the x method to factor that. Remember, c goes on top. We're looking for something that multiplies to 24 and adds to negative 10. It's going to be negative 6 and negative 4. So that means the top of my fraction is going to be x minus 6 times x minus 4. Then we're going to factor the bottom of it. Again, we have to use the x method. If I do that, we're looking for something that multiplies to 42 and adds to negative 13. That is going to be negative 6 and negative 7. Yeah. Let's actually write that 7 so you can, like, maybe read it. That would be nice, wouldn't it? You'd probably appreciate it. So we have a negative 7 over here. So if I rewrite it, we have x minus 6 on the bottom times x minus 7. My second fraction stays the same, so we still have minus n over n minus 7. I notice I have two x minus 6's, so those are going to cancel out. And I notice that once I cancel those, I'm left with x minus 4 over x minus 7 minus 9 over n or x. Sorry, I changed all my n's to x's. I hope that's okay with you. It's the same thing. So we'd have x minus 7. So what I notice here is that these two are the same, so I can just combine the numerators. So we're going to do x minus 4 minus 9 over x minus 7. If I simplify, we have x minus 4 minus 9 is x minus 13 all over x minus 7. I suppose technically we didn't start with x's, we started with the n's. So we have n minus 13 and n minus 7. But that should be your answer. The next one, again, we're going to have to simplify everything. So on top I have z squared plus 11z plus 30. So we're looking for something that multiplies to 30 and adds to 11. It's going to be 5 and 6. So on top we have x plus 5 and x plus 6. And we're dividing that by, on the bottom, I see z squared plus z minus 20. So we have negative 20 on top. And we have a 1 on the bottom. So it multiplies to negative 20 and adds to 1. It's going to be 5 and negative 4. So we have x plus 5, x minus 4. And then we're subtracting from that another fraction. We're going to have to simplify this one too. So I'm going to do z squared plus 2z minus 24. So we're looking for something that multiplies to negative 24 and adds to 2. It's going to be 6 and negative 4. So over here we have x plus 6, x minus 4. And then the last one we're going to factor 2 using the x method. We have 18 on top, 9 on the bottom. What multiplies to 18 and adds to 9? This is going to be 6 and 3. So we have x plus 6 and an x plus 3. Again, I'm looking for things that I can cancel out. I notice these both have an x plus 5. These both have an x plus 6. So I'm left with x plus 6 over x minus 4 minus x minus 4 over x plus 3. Here's the thing, I can't put those together because they do not have a common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply both of those by something to get a common denominator. That something is going to be whatever the opposite one was. So for this one, we have x plus 3 here. So I'm going to have to multiply this one by x plus 3. And this one times x plus 3. On the other side, we have x minus 4, so we're going to have to do times x minus 4. and times x minus 4. Let's look at the second fraction. I noticed that I multiplied by x minus 4, and I already had an x minus 4 on top. So one of my x minus 4s is going to cancel. Actually, we can't do that because we need to add them together. I lied. Undo that. We're going to go ahead and do the box method on everything and then simplify. So I need to multiply these two things together. So I'm going to make a box. And in my box, we're going to have x plus 6. And we're going to have x plus 3. X times x gives me x squared. We have 6x here, 3x, and 18. So the top of my first one is x squared. I'm going to simplify while I do it by adding these together. Plus 9x. Plus 18. And then we're subtracting from that, and we have to figure out what these guys equal. And we'll put that all there in a moment. I'm going to do my work for that one up here. So we're doing x minus 4 times x minus 4. I get x squared, negative 4x, negative 4x, and 16. So that's really x squared minus 8x plus 16. And all of that is divided by x minus 4 times x plus 3. Is this problem ridiculously long? Clearly it is. Sorry, I'm going to zoom out one last time. I say that, I might have to zoom more, I don't know. Before I do anything, I need to distribute this negative sign before I combine anything. The first thing is going to stay the same. I still have x squared plus 9x plus 18. And then we're going to have a minus x squared, a plus 8x, and a minus 16. All of that is divided by x minus 4 times x plus 3. Again, I'm going to zoom out again. We're going to combine our like terms on top. Hopefully some stuff cancels out. Let's see. I see a positive x squared and a negative, so those guys are going to cancel. But that's about it. Then I see a positive 9x and a positive 8x, so that gives me 17x on top. And then I notice we have an 18 and a negative 16. If I do 18 minus 16, I get 2, so plus 2. All of that is divided by x minus 4 times x plus 3. I don't see anything else I can simplify, so this should be your final answer.